Now widely known for its Parma ham and Parmesan cheese, Parma was first established as a Roman station on the Via Emilia. In the 12th to the 14th centuries it had a republican constitution, but from about 1335 it was ruled by a succession of ducal families, including the Visconti, the Este, and the Sforza. In 1531 it became a papal dominion, and in 1545 Pope Paul III made it over along with Piacenza to his natural son Pier Luigi Farnese, with the title of Duke. In 1815 the Congress of Vienna assigned it to the ex-Empress Marie-Louise, and in 1859 it became part of Italy. It was heavily bombed in World War II. Just over the river to the west from the main centre is an old residential area. In one room of this house lived the Toscanini family, whose son Arturo lived here for the first year of his life. The house is now run as a museum of the conductor's life and work, and contains many interesting artifacts and possessions. Just back over the river, the Teatro Regio, where he made his musical debut, is thought by many to be one of the finest in Italy. The violinist Paganini is buried in Parma in a nearby cemetery. We can now make our way along Strada Maggiore to the Piazza Garibaldi. Around this square are here the Palazzo Comunale, outside which stands Correggio, seems a nice boy, who did much work in the town. On the west side is San Pietro, and on the north side the Palazzo del Governatore, adorned with some very scientific seeming symbols. Just beyond, to the north, is the church of the Madonna della Steccata. The church was built in 1521 and is said to have been based on Bramante's model for St. Peter's at Rome. A brief glimpse of the Palazzo della Pilota, built for the Farnese family around 1590, as we make our way towards the Duomo and the baptistry. We have here the bell tower of the Duomo on the left, the baptistry on the right, and in the centre the tower of San Giovanni Evangelista, which we shall look at later. The baptistry bridges the gap between Romanesque and Gothic styles. It is one of the finest in Italy. An octagonal building in red Verona marble, begun in 1196 and styled by Benedetto Antelmi. The magnificent series of 13th century frescoes is the largest of its kind in Italy. The architect was also responsible for the reliefs and sculpted the frieze which runs round the outside of the building. The Duomo was covered in scaffolding as I was there, and the picture inside shows what it would have looked like. It is a Romanesque pillared basilica dating from the mid-12th century. The adjoining campanile dates from about 1290. There is much decoration in this church, carried out in the 16th century by Correggio and his school. The most famous piece is the painting in the cupola, which we shall see shortly. But it's interesting to think that this redecoration was done in the 16th century, when the building was already 500 years old. Another interesting thought is what is underneath those paintings, and there's the cupola, and in present day thinking, would this upstart Correggio have been allowed to whitewash them out and put his paintings on them? As we leave the building, we shall walk down the side of it to the piazza at the rear, on which is situated the church of San Giovanni Evangelista. San Giovanni Evangelista is a Renaissance building of 1510 with a Baroque facade of 1607. The bell tower dates from 1614. There are fine frescoes, again by Correggio, but it was too dark to see them. Correggio painted also in this cupola, and his pupil Parmigianino also worked here. There is an original 13th century pharmacy that preserves its medieval interior, and through this door from one of the cloisters one can visit the library and see a painted map of Jerusalem. There are 3 cloisters. This one is the largest one. Now, a man making a film. Now, this is late, fairly late on Saturday afternoon, and after another brief glimpse of the Palazzo della Pilota, let us look at what was happening this morning in the Parco Ducale. That's the park that used to be the private preserve of the dukes.